Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. So in today's video, we are going to hit the side of the house and finally try to knock out most of the siding. As I mentioned in the last video, I had already started on it and we got pretty much everything that I can get done. I still have to do some batten strips today, and then I have to caulk every single nail and every single transition on the bottom and the top for the battens, and any nail holes that I missed on the cedar shake siding up at the top of the gable end. So that is where I have got so far. So like I said the other day, we got all of the boards on all the way. I think I've got about 13 or so batten strips left to do. And then as you can see, I got 6 rows of cedar shake. And the only reason why I was able to get up that high is I think my ladder's 20 foot, but I pulled my truck in here and put the ladder in the bed. And then that's as high as I could get up. And I think we're almost 31 feet or so up to the peak. So definitely have a few more to do, but I'm gonna have to get a lift out here to do that. But even at that height, I'm pretty comfortable with that because there's so much overhang that if we just have a straight falling rain, we're probably not getting too much water up behind that last row of cedar, and we're starting to really protect that zip paneling finally. So that is the game plan today. Just finish out the batten strips, and then it just takes forever to caulk every single nail hole. And then again, as you can see, there's caulking going up on each side of those batten strips, and that's just to protect it long term. Because when you spray the house and you do put the paint on, you can see a gap in between. The paint doesn't always fill if the gap gets too wide. And I just don't want any moisture getting behind those, so we're just kind of sealing the entire thing out. Now, before we do anything at all, before I bust out the sprayer or the air compressor, anything that makes noise, hammering and hitting anything, we have got to take care of a massive bug problem. So last night I came out here and I told Aaron to get some wasp spray. And over here on the side of the overhang up there, there was one probably the size of like a mini basketball. In fact, it was just yellow jackets. Not a big deal. I sprayed them. And Aaron was like, "What? I didn't even see that one. I got the bug spray and told you to spray because there is one even bigger than that." And that, it turns out, is, I don't know how well you can see up there, but that is a 20-inch overhang or more right there. And that thing is probably a good foot or so wide, and I would say it's hanging down by a foot. And the reason why I say I need to take care of that now before I do any hanging or anything, or hitting or hammering or noise, those things are aggressive. They are absolutely inch-long, huge, massive black wasps with a little bit of yellow stripe on them. And just being out here last night this close, they were dive bombing my head. They did not like the vibration or noise of me getting up there with the yellow jackets. If you hit the porch at all and it's vibration, they bust out of there and absolutely go ballistic. So I want to take care of that today. I'm gonna go get a couple cans. I think what I'm gonna do, because that again is probably a good 20 plus feet up, I think I'm gonna put the ladder against this tree over here, stand on the back side, and then maybe I'll double fist and hit that hive where they're entering in from this side going that way, and just soak them in 2 cans or more, and then I'll have a can or 2 in reserve just in case. I got them a little bit last night with a little bit left over with the can that I had, but I didn't think that that thing was even there, so I was not expecting to use that can on them, so I only had like a 1-second spray left. But these are what them guys are. They look bigger when they're alive, but they are huge, they are aggressive. And again, as they were dive bombing my head and I was running away, I even felt one hit me in the back. And he must have been in a dive bomb run, stinger exposed, hit my shirt, and just barely got me with the tip of his stinger right in the back. Just barely, just the tip. So let's go to the store. We need some caulking. I need some nails anyway. I'm gonna pick up 3 or 4 cans of wasp killer, and then let's finish out this entire wall today. Waterproof it up, and then we'll finish out the wall more so when I get a lift and we can get up there and finish that gable end. but I'm really dragging my feet on getting the lift just due to the fact that we've got to get a lift to paint all of the soffit trim before we can put up gutters. We obviously have to finish that over there, and then we actually have to put the gutters up themselves. So one lift needs to go a very long way and get a lot done. And if I get a lift, it's probably going to be a week rental, and that's just 7 days that I have to go as fast as possible, or I'm going to be spending more than like $1,000 or whatever it costs. So got to get it done, got to get it all done. And with painting, we need excellent weather in the future also. So it's going to be a tight squeeze when I actually get it and when we figure everything out. So at least today, let's finish everything that we can on ground level. Well, we'll see how this goes. Putting on some extra clothes and stuff. It's not too hot out, so hopefully I can get this done quick. I know you're supposed to spray these things at nighttime. That obviously helps cut down on their movement and stuff, but I would rather like hit it now and then come back tonight and hit them again. And then hopefully I'll be able to smash it down to the ground with a long stick. Oh, that's nice. I just saw my glasses after like 6 months, thoughting I'd lost them. That's nice. And last but not least, a little bit of head protection. This can says it goes up to 27 feet and it's a lot bigger than what I sprayed last night. So hopefully this is enough to take out the majority of the nest today, get in their entrance hole that I can see, and just blast the full can. And then we'll do another can tonight when it's nighttime. And then when I hit it to the ground, I'll be able to spray if any of them are still alive. I feel like the crocodile hunter right now. I'm gonna be going up on this ladder and, oh crikey, they're gonna be pissed off. But with this jet stream, we're gonna be snipering them and making sure they're dead and we get them all. Well, that definitely pissed them off, and they're not dead yet. These cans go fast. I don't hear them dive bombing me. Dang, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like you can see the foam like blasting out of there, like as their wings are like pushing it off of there. It's like misting it out, like they're pushing that foam back out. I definitely saw a few fall to the ground though, but it's not killing all of them because I didn't hit them as they were getting out. But dang it, we're gonna have to tell Aaron to bring another can home because this one is almost gone. It's not even gonna reach over there anymore. I may have to get the next one. All right, I doubt that did it. I'm gonna have to have Aaron bring a few more cans home. But they're definitely dropping like flies now. They're falling straight down to the ground. You can hear them buzzing, rolling around in the dirt and stuff. But I actually have to get up there and knock that thing down. So I'll wait for Aaron to get home. I'll move the ladder over to the porch, hit it a couple more times, and then we'll just bash it down and see what falls out. But for now, let's finish up the siding. They gotta at least walk through that poison, so I don't think that I'm gonna bother them on the side of the house. And let's get that thing all done on that side over there. Now, if anyone was curious, if I were to do this all over again, more lumber, the better, because LP is obviously made of wood. I would have probably upgraded, instead of the 1.5 strips, I probably would have upgraded to the 2.5 strips. The 2.5 inches just gives you a little bit more coverage so that water can't infiltrate in through the side here and then obviously get in between your board strips, which would then cause rot behind it. So you get a little bit more coverage there. Moving like 1 inch further in total, I think would have looked better because we went with a 16 inch instead of a 12 inch. So maybe in my opinion, if you used a 12-inch piece of siding, that would go with the 1.5 inches. But with the 16, I should have maybe gone with the 2.5. And again, a reason why that is just because you get more lumber, which you guys can notice I did not do any mitered corners. I've got a friend who's got a house with mitered corners, and his building company has to come back out and like fix some spots where the caulking is like basically separating. But when you have a mitered corner, when you taper out all that wood out to a point, if any moisture gets in that real thin, sharp knife edge now, it'll start to blow that out and soften it. So None of my corners are mitered because the more lumber that you can have staying true, the less chance I think you have of it failing one day. So on the outside of the house, you're not going to see any mitered corners anywhere on the deck or on the siding. And again, we're just really trying to caulk everything that we can so moisture and water doesn't infiltrate. And we're just trying to block it out with the paint and stuff. All right, now if anybody's curious how I'm doing this, number one, laser levels make it totally, or laser tape measures make it totally easy. We're just setting that up onto the ridge of the gemstone, and then that 3-inch piece up there, I'm just shooting it at the bottom. That gives me a perfect measurement every single time. And then we're using exterior galvanized ring shank 2 3/4 nails. Obviously the galvanization lasts forever. I've had some of these sitting outside for over a year and they don't even rust. So that's number one. Number two is the ring shank, because not only sometimes are you getting a nail probably right in between the middle of a crack, which means that that nail wouldn't have anything to hold on to wood-wise. You want that ring shank to go in and hit that 1.5-inch piece of plastic webbing. And that's what I think Fox Blocks and everybody else recommends. So ring shanks holds onto that plastic a little bit better, but I would say the majority of the time I'm not getting nails directly through that crack, and the nails are actually hitting the 3/8 of an inch thick siding also. So it really holds strong. I've had to remove one before, and every nail, it broke itself before the nail let go. So I'd have to put a hammer in and actually pull the nails out and just chunk that batten strip all the way down into 100 pieces. So they do hold strong. And then the only other thing, up there on the cedar shingles, I did not install it per LP's recommendation. LP only wants you to have an 1.5-inch overhang from the cord, the top cord coming down to the bottom. And I just didn't like that. Number one, it leaves too much shingle exposed and I didn't like the look. And number two, if they ever do get wet and they start to want to like bow away from the wall or something, like if they swell up or anything, more overhang means you've got more lumber pushing the bottom row into the wall because the top row is above it and holding it in. So I'm doing a traditional cedar overhang, which is about 5 inches. So there's a good 4 to 5 inches, because obviously, they go up and down on there because the shakes are offset. But I've got a good 5 inches of overhang versus an 1.5 inches. And again, I just think it looks better up there to not have so much exposed, but I think it also has a lot better holding power because you're not just putting a nail within an 1.5 inches. I'm putting a nail up towards the top at an 1.5 inches, but then I'm also putting in a nail about 4 inches down or 3.5 inches down or whatever, giving that shake even more holding power. So that's just my way of doing it. You can do what you want. The only thing it's gonna cost me is I'm obviously gonna spend a lot more in cedar shakes, because instead of going up every like 9.5 inches, I'm only going up every like 5.5 inches or something. So I'll have to purchase more and spend more money up there. But overall, I think that's a much better look. All right, so done with the batten strips. One thing I did want to mention, those nails do really work well, even if you have to hammer them in further. So if you do get it over a piece of plastic and the gun didn't push it in hard enough, when you actually do hit it with a hammer, it's almost like hitting it into wood. If you miss though, it bounces right back out just like it would at any time, but definitely makes it easy to have a nice thick plastic strip in there that you're nailing into. So now we're gonna caulk everything up, finish it up on this side of the house, and then we're one step closer to getting a lift and getting paint. And hopefully again, we can knock everything out with the lift all at once. right, so just finished up in the nick of time. Just enough sunlight left to where if you can see any cracks and there's no voids, you know, because obviously you're using black caulking, that makes it a little bit harder to see. But that makes me feel good. This side of the house can pretty much sit like this almost indefinitely because that paint on there, it's pretty much baked on, and I think LP even classifies it as like being painted. But that can sit for a long time until we actually get painted. But every nail hole, every seam, down along the bottom, everything is caulked. So even like on the back side of the garage, I think I've had that done for a year and a half or more, and it's still not painted. But there's no issues with it because all of the caulking and the baked on brown finish is already on there. But man, it just makes it look so much bigger. I know it's so hard to appreciate how big this house is when you're 30.5 feet up. It just doesn't capture it on video to see that I just barely get over the genstone, and then you're another 15 feet up there, and then another 12 feet or something where the cedar shakes are going to be. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But I love it. I love building a ranch. I love having all of our doors and windows and everything oversized. It makes it feel more comfortable. It makes moving in and out easier. Like you bring a king size bed in. Well, you got a front door that's 42.5 inches wide, 8 foot tall. You don't hit anything. Going down the stairs in the basement, I made that 4.5 feet wide. So if you had a washer and dryer going downstairs, again, you're not banging your knuckles on the freaking hand railing and everything. Just an oversized ranch just makes it look so much like a bigger house than this is a ranch, or that if it wasn't or is, just makes it look awesome. So we're really close, like I said, to busting out the paint sprayer. Again, we'll have to get the lift, finish out that gable end up there. Hopefully I have enough cedar shakes left. My luck, I'm not gonna have enough, and then I won't be able to paint all of this at once and paint all of the soffits. That's the biggest thing, or the fascia boards, is to get the fascia boards painted and let them dry for a few days before we put gutters on. So might have to save some money and actually do that first. Just get a lift just for painting and painting only. And then I think I'm gonna run out of siding again. I didn't wanna spend all of the money. I only bought 20 pieces, and I think I may have needed like 30 pieces. But I'll have a little bit to get a full piece in there. Then obviously I could come over just like 3 feet, and then I gotta stop because I gotta get that foam out of the way, put the window in, and then I can get the siding up underneath of the windows before we put the trim on. So these windows have to go in. So I think after I get this at least painted, maybe, again, cheap lift, day or so, get that painted out, I think then we can head back to the back deck and, I don't know, just spend the money on a credit card just to get this freaking deck on, so we've got something to stand on and we can finish out back here. And then once those windows and doors are in, I can put the siding on. So that'll probably be the game plan. But I'm gonna wrap this video up here, guys. We should have enough minutes in to give you guys something, an update on what the house is looking like. As you can see, we're almost done over here. So I'll probably come back when we bust out the paint sprayer and we actually start painting this on a good day. Hopefully it's not, when's fall?
September 20 something.
Okay.
3rd, I don't know.
So we got some time that we're technically still in summer that I think we'll be able to paint this up. And then once that back deck is on, which I think is the most important, we'll have to come back out to the front porch and spend some money and get the under ceiling on, get the gable end wall done up here, build out soffits all the way up and down and around, which I know I'm gonna have to buy LP soffit material to get up in there and up in there to finish out. And then again, we'll be back again with painting and everything like that. But technically this could sit for one more winter like this. We don't really have to do anything. What?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, well, you go get another job and give me thousands of dollars.
Well, I mean, we at least gotta finish painting that siding on the end.
I just said that to them. We're gonna paint the side and that at the same time with the lift. But I need at least $1 grand or $2 to get up the ceiling. I've already got the OSB for the gable end. I'll have to buy Tyvek and the cedar shakes that we want to put there. And then I need to build out a solid soffit with that T11 looking LP to go up under there, the holes on each side so venting can go up through. So there's at least, let's say, $4 grand left in this front porch. I think the back porch and the windows and doors are more important. Yes?
Yep.
Yes. All right, so again, wrapping it up here. You guys got an update. I'll see you guys next time. If you guys got anything to say, let me know. Hit the thumbs up button, please, please. And hit us up on NeckofTheWoods 2020 on Instagram if you got anything personal message to say. And again, we're still trying to figure out what we're doing with t-shirts if anybody wants one. So hang tight for that. Till then, we'll see you guys next time.